Looking
Thought I
for
pressed it.
Rav Kahana.
A, Rabbi Levitt, Pele Yoetz. Okay, sorry for the interruption. I'll get the Vamos and the other one was Bama Metzia.
Yeah, Baba Metzia is, if you want to know where that is, it is, just a second. I put my bookmark over here. It's Nun Tes Amid Aleph.
Thank you.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 10 lines, the wide lines down. Rav Kahana is the very last part of the line.
10 lines down.
Hold on, maybe I got the wrong Rav Kahana here. Amar, yeah, Mechacha. And then it says, Ushmartem et Mishmarti. 10 of the wide lines down.
10 of the wide lines down?
Yeah, I didn't count the narrow lines.
What page in Yevamos?
20A?
21A.
Oh, 21A, really? Because
Yes.
I have in the English at least, it says 20A. So you're
Oh, hold it. I'm looking at the first one. That's what problem.
So we're actually 20A.
Okay, so we're on 28. Then I got to go find that.
And what's the
Okay.
subject?
It's based upon the pasuk in Parshas Kedoshim, Kedoshim Yehu.
You should separate yourself. You should be separate. Sanctify yourself.
Oh, now that's interesting.
20A.
That's okay. Let's see. Having difficulty over here finding this pasuk.
So the pasuk is Vayikra, huh?
Oh, there we go.
20A.
It's the third it's the all the way at the down to the end of the narrow lines, the third narrow line from the bottom.
Oh, Kadoshi Mihiyu. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, this is a bit maybe this is not the right place. It's a Kedusha Amon L'Kohen Golo, Grusha V'Chalutza L'Kohen Hedyot. Amai Kori Luhu Iser Kedusha, Diksiv Kedoshi Miyula L'Lokechem. It's really referring to the Kohanim. This pasuk is, there's really two psukim that say this expression of Kedoshim. Kedoshim. This pasuk is talking to Kohanim.
Right, they can only marry certain people.
Yeah, so I'm not.
I have a statement here. Ella Amar Rava, Kadesh Atzmecha B'Mutar Lach. Sanctify yourself by refraining from that which is permitted to you. Could that be it?
Yeah, where is that?
That is, let's see. It's in the fat lines. Um. Uh,
Oh, I see. Yeah,
you see
it's
it?
it's the third wide line.
Yeah, Kadesh Atzmacha b'mutar lach, that you are permitted to you. Oh, okay.
Yes, yeah, I think that's really what the Pele Yoetz is referring to. It's a kedusha shnius medivrei sofrim v'mai korile. It's a kedusha marabaye kol hamakayim divrei chachamim nikra kodesh. Amalei Rava v'kol she'enu makayim divrei chachamim kodesh hu de lo mikre. Rasha nami lo mikre. Ela marava kadesh atzmacha b'mutalach. So Rava took issue with the way Abaye wanted to explain that whoever is Mekayim, the words of the Chachamim, he's called a Kadosh. That's why it says Isser Kedusha, Shnias Le'arayas, or Divrei Sofrim. They're not Minatorah. They're secondary prohibitions that were added on by Chazal in regard to who one can marry. So the Gemara wants to know why are they called Isser Kedusha, to not marry these women that the Chazal assered. So Abaye says, Kol Makayim Divrei Chachamim Nikra Kodesh, because whoever fulfills the words of the Chachamim, he's called a Kodesh. So that's why it's called Isser Kedusha. On that, Rava said, what? Kol She'enu Makayim Divrei Chachamim Kodesh hu deloi. He says whoever is and whoever is not fulfilling the words of the Chachamim, Kodesh hu delo mikre. You mean to say that he's just not called the Kodesh? No, Russia Nami lo mikre. And you wouldn't call him a Russia if he's not fulfilling the words of the Chachamim. So he rejects this interpretation, and he says, what's it about that we call these prohibitions Isser Kedusha? Says Rava, because the Chazal are saying Kadesh Atzmacha b'mutalach. Be Mekadesh yourselves with something that the Torah even permits. Says Rashi, Kadesh Atzmacha, Lamod Wulihi Zaher, to be careful, not to violate these prohibitions of the Chachamim, Af b'mutalach, even though it's something that the Torah itself allows. Hosif aleihem shnius. Hamutaros l'cha al arayis. And so the Chachamim came along and they added on these prohibitions, various women that the Torah prohibit, that the Torah does not prohibit, rather, but that the sages, the Chachamim, prohibited them. So even though it's permissible to you, being a Torah, the Chachamim said off limits. Kadesha lo tavo lidei arayas hu asurus min Torah, and this is all with the same intention as generally most all of the rabbinic prohibitions that we have, that they are there as a fence that a person should not come to violate the Isurim of Min HaTorah, like we find by Shabbos. Many Isuri D'Rabbanan, that the Rabbanan prohibited various activities, even though the Torah itself allows it. But the Rabbanan said that these are necessary for us to decree in order to protect, so that people won't get too close to violating a malacha deraisa on Shabbos. Okay. And so, yeah, but I think this is yeah. Okay, so therefore we see the Rashi even used that word. It's a tosefis, lahosif, to add on. And that's the idea of adding on to protect the Torah prohibition. Okay, so that's the theme of this paragraph over here. This subject of tosefis. Wow, a person is chayav to be mosif his kedusha from day to day. Wow. And his increase of kedusha in this regard is a sign that he's serving Hashem out of Ava. And he alludes to a pasuk in that Shlomo Melech wrote. I think it's in Koheles. Many waters of the vanities of this world are not able to extinguish his love, meaning the Jews' love for Hashem. To not be involved in running after all of the pleasures and the vanities of this world is an indication of a person's avas Hashem.
All right.
Okay. Okay, very good. Okay, so a round of applause for Tosefes.
Hey.
Okay. And now let's I found this Gemara. I don't really remember why it is that I was looking it up at this point.
Because I raised an issue about the term dasan kala.
Okay.
And the translation had said something about they can't think. Women can't think well, and I didn't like that translation. And I found another place in Pele Yoetz where the same term is used, dasan kala, and the translator translates it as sensitive. That women are sensitive, and I felt that was a better translation. And I felt that if you applied that translation to the other place, that it fit much better. It made a lot of sense to say that it was talking about that if you make changes in the economy to make things better for the poor people, some people may react, particularly women, and get upset by this and cry to the officials or something like that. I can actually get the I can get the exact quote for you. Why should I do it from memory when I can tell you exactly what it says? It's on page.
So let's see, Wednesday.
It's on page 418, near the bottom. It says, in truth, this will be difficult at first for many of the common people, and on the women whose mind is less focused. They will cry for their families due to the changes in the customs, and they will speak dishonorably about the leaders. So this phrase, mind is less focused, I asked you what the Hebrew was, and you said it was dasan kala. So I suggested that a better translation would be to say, and on the women who are sensitive, they will cry for their families, etc. And you didn't like that, so you looked this up because you wanted to question my suggestion.
Okay, so we have this expression over here.
What page?
There was another place that you brought where he was talking, and he also used the word Daitzen Kalos.
Yes, it was on page 88, where it says, all the more so between a husband and a wife who is extremely sensitive. It is incumbent on the thoughtful husband, blah, blah. And my understanding is that who is extremely sensitive is the translation of dasan kala in this page, on this page.
Okay, so that's what I took issue with. What was that entry again about the the entry that you just brought now about to be careful with women because they're very sensitive? Where is that brought in the Pele Yoetz? You know what?
Page 88, volume 2.
No, but what's the? I don't have the English over there. What's the entry? What's the subject?
Oh, the subject is machloches.
Oh, machloches. Okay. Oh yeah, I remember looking at this. Taking a while to find where machloches is because it's not really in. All the mems are here, but they're not really exactly in alphabetical order. Oh, here we are. Okay. Machloches. Okay. Okay, so.
And what page are we on in Bava Metzia?
Yeah, just a second. I just want to verify that that's the word that he used over here that I'm taking issue with. Okay. Okay. Ve'im rabu rasmal flekas ki inotsu anoshim yachtov al akas kama kama rakufula umakopeles ki yeriv ben ish leishtoi v'yadua kama shaktu chachamim makama tekonos os mipnei darkei sholem ubefrat mipnei shalom abayas ushmo shel kodesh baruch hu shenektav b'kedusha v'hita lemachko kedei liten shalom ben ish leishto. Now, where does it say anything about Daitzen Kalos over here? I don't see. Oh, here it is. Oh, here it is. V'al yakzik b'makloikis, el yehe oev shalom v'rodev shalom, kol shekain beit ish leishto, shedaitan shel nashim kalos. Oh, I see what he's, okay. I see what he's saying over here. Okay. Hu birami ala ish, shehu bardas. Imchol ala bono, v'lashpil atzmo. Okay, I see. Okay, yeah. Okay. Okay, so what he's saying, okay, so you're saying that, I see, in other words, in both places, the translator has translated Nashim Kalos, Shadaitan Shal Nashim Kalos. He's translated that to be that they're sensitive.
No, not in both places. In the second place, 418, he says, whose mind is less focused.
Oh, whereas over here he's translated. Oh, so he's so the Pele Yoetz has used the expression Daitan Kalos in both places, but the translator has translated it differently, one place to the other.
That's right.
I see. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So fine. So what I wanted to say was that when the Gemara, this is a Gemara in Bava Metzia Nun Tes.
Nun Tes, okay. Amid
Aleph.
Okay. I'm there.
Well, I thought I'd mark this off, but I guess I didn't. So I'll have to take a look again throughout the whole Amid and see where it is. Okay. Let me Adam Zohir Onos Ishto. Yeah, here it is. Okay, Baruch Hashem.
Where are you on the page?
Okay, this is it's about it's more than 20 lines down from the top of the page. It's a little bit above the middle of the page. The first word in the line is ubemitzvos also onu, altonu.
Okay, I see it in the Hebrew. Let's see if I can find it in the English. Ubemitzvos. Ubemitzvos al tonehu. I got it.
Okay, so over here, the Gemara says, in other words, after the al toneu, it says Amarav. Amarav la'olam yehei adam zahir. In all situations and circumstances and scenarios, a man has to be very careful, Zohir, ba'onas ishto, not to say words that will cause tsar and hurt to his wife.
Right.
Why is that? Well, if you would look at what the Pele Yoetz says, it would seem to be because Daitan Kalos, right?
Right.
So that's not the words that Rav says over here. Rav simply says, Shemitoch shebdimoso mitsuya onoso karoiva. Literally what that means is, since her tears are very quick to come commonly found onoso kroiva. So the danger of entering into the realm of onas devorim are very close.
Right.
So I just wanted to point out that it seems to me that it doesn't really have anything to do with Dait and Kalos.
There's a Rashi.
Let's take a look at Rashi. Onos ishto, onos devorim litzara. Right, hurtful words that cause her pain and anguish. Tsar. Onosa kroiva lavo. Puranos. Onosa mamahir lavo.
According to my footnote, Rashi says something about the fact that she cries easily.
Yeah. Well, that's what the Gemara says. Rashi's not saying that. The Gemara said that. The Gemara said shemitok shedimasuk mitsuya, because her tears are easily caused and present.
Right.
Onosa krova. So Rashi has an interesting explanation of what this onosa krova means. Not like I said. Onosa with a mapik hey. I have over here. It's a mapik hey. It's her ona. Her ona is quick. Is very close, and Rashi explains what does that mean. It's her is quick to come. What is quick to come over here? What are we talking about? We already said that her tears are quick to come. What does it mean when it says onosa kroiba? Her tsar is quick. Rashi says it's not talking about her. It's talking about paranos, punishment. Onosa, the punishment for causing for causing her this tsar, mamahir lavo, is quick to come.
Right.
To the husband who doesn't honor the her properly. Here comes Roy.
Oh, good.
Good. Okay, so
this is really not talking about onas kala. I'm sorry, Dyson kala.
I don't think so. The Gemara didn't say anything about it. Rashi didn't explain anything about that. So I would.
This is talking about women being sensitive, and it doesn't mention Dyson kala. Therefore, Dyson kala is not related to women being sensitive.
Exactly my point.
I see.
You hit it on the head.
I see. Okay. I hear.
All right.
Good morning, Roy.
Good morning. Sorry to be late, but I've been having problems with various things. Where are we?
Okay, we just finished a where are we actually? Well, that's a good question. We just
Before we go on, I just wanted to finish by asking you, how would you translate it?
What's the it?
There's an expression, Dyson kala.
Oh.
It occurs on page 88 and on page 18.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it's translated on 88, it's translated as extremely sensitive. And on 418, it's translated as mind is less focused.
Mm.
And so I'm asking the rabbi, based on all of our discussions here, how would you translate it in each case?
Mm.
Oh, so what do we have to do? Oh, you mean you want to know how do I think the Pele Yoetz understands it when he uses those expressions?
Exactly.
Well, if you take a look at what he says over here, he says, I'm just reading in the Hebrew. Al Yaksik, and I'm reading from the entry of Machlokes.
Okay, you're on 88 then.
And this is in the paragraph that in the Hebrew it starts be'im rabba ras hamachlokes. Ki yanotzu anoshim yaktov. And in view of the fact that it's a terrible evil that there's arguments and enmity between two people.
Right.
Meaning, and over there he's talking really about two men, because he's quoting a pasuk. It says ki yanotzu anoshim yaktov. Anoshim is referring to men, and so as bad as that is, and we know how bad says the Pele Yoetz, the machlokes between two men, alachas kama v'kama, all the more so, kal v'chomer, is it evil, kafula, a doubled and doubled evil, ki yeh riv bein ish leishto, when there is a discord between a man, a husband, and his wife. That's what the subject matter is over here. So now we go down a few lines, and he says, "V'al yaksik b'machlokes." Don't get into a machlokes, and if you got into one, get out of it right away. Don't hold on to it. Ele yehei ohev sholem. You should be one who loves peace and pursues it. Now, over there, he's talking about between one man and another one. And then he says, again, kol shekain, bein ish leishto. This is all the more so in regard to a machlokes between a husband and his wife. And now he uses this expression, shedaiton shel noshim kalos. And then I'm not gonna translate that right now, but I'm gonna read the rest of the sentence, and we'll get an idea of what it means when he says daiton shel noshim kalos, when he contrasts it to the man. V'chiyuva and therefore the what do you say, the onus of the obligation of not being machzik in a machlokes between a husband and a wife devolves on who? On the man, on the husband. Why? Shehu bardas, because he's a bardas. So now we see that the way the Pele Yoetz is using the expression daiton noshim kalos, it means as opposed to an ish who is a bardas. And therefore, limchol alabono v'lahashpil atzmo likvod kono ulirdov shalom b'kol koicho. And so therefore he should forgive his disgrace if his wife disgraces him, ulashpil atzmo, and lower himself and be humble and act with what do you call it, self-effacement? Yeah, that's a good word, right? Likvod kono, for the honor of his maker, for Hashem, Uludov shalom b'koicho, and to pursue after shalom with his wife, and of course with other people as well, b'kol kocho, with all of his. But he's saying over here that that if there is a machlokes chas v'shalom between a husband and a wife, it's not enough for the husband to say, "Oh, it's her fault. She's just, you just can't win with these women over here, right? Because everybody knows they're very sensitive, and everybody knows they're very this and they're very that, and da 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 da. So what are you going to do?" Says the Pele Yoetz, you're the one you're the bardas over here. You're the one that it's the responsibility lies with you to not be sensitive about your honor that was affronted, and to not and to lower yourself and make yourself act with self-effacement and ignore the insults and the criticisms and all the other things that you didn't like about. This is very interesting because anyway. So that's the point. The point, it would seem to be that the Pele Yoetz is saying that a person who's a bardas will be more capable of putting aside all of these emotional issues and difficulties, which we said that a woman is daitan shel nashim kalos. So it's only fair that the responsibility lies with the husband, as opposed to the wife, to make the peace between them. So that's what it says over here about this. Right. So, okay.
So you're avoiding the minefield.
What's that?
You're avoiding the minefield. You're not translating it.
I'm saying like this. It's not something bad per se, but it doesn't have the shleimus of das. Somebody doesn't have the shleimus of das. That means it's a fault. It's an improper character trait. No, that's what it is. It's the lack of something, so to speak. He's saying Daitan shel nashim kalos, as opposed to a man who's a bar das. What's a bar das? A bar das, he has more of an ability to that his intellect should control his emotions. That would be a bar das. He's ruled by his das, as opposed to other things.
So you're saying the woman is emotional?
Yeah, that's.
So you would say
It doesn't. In other words, it doesn't mean that she doesn't have intelligence. She may have a lot of intelligence. She may be a lot smarter than her husband. But a bar das is someone who is the das that he does have. He has the ability. He has more of an ability than someone who doesn't, who's not a bar das, to focus on what the intellect says, what the das dictates the situation should be, as opposed to being pulled by other factors.
okay, so we could say all the more so between a husband and wife who is emotional, it is incumbent upon the thoughtful husband to forgive his insult, etc.
Right, because it's easier for someone who's a bar das to forgive the situation, to be mochel and say, okay, let's go weiter, it's okay if people get upset, people get this, blah, blah, blah. And it could be that the whole reason that she said that was because you did something that you were not supposed to do. So
now you have a butting head situation, and how are you going to extricate yourself from it? The wife is likely to be emotionally tied into it more so than the husband. So
yeah,
the husband has to be thoughtful and say,
right.
okay, you know what? I'm going to forgive her. I'm not going to worry about who did what to who. I'm going to just help her through this emotional problem.
Like they say on the Life of B'Tachon, they say that the husband should say, you're right. I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
Right.
And let's be friends again. That's in other words, who's the one that should do that? The husband.
The husband. So if we
Why? Because it's easier for him to do that.
Right. So if we jump to page 418, I think we could use the same translation if we say, in truth, this will be difficult at first for many of the common people and on the women who are more emotional. They will cry for their families due to the changes in the customs, etc.
Right. It'll be hard. Right. It'll be harder for them to admit that, really this is what needs to be done for the sake of the poor people. Look, the poor people, we got to help them. And she's, it's harder for her to see that because she says, well, what about my family?
Right.
And there's a point to that also. Yeah. What about my family? Right. And we're not saying that only women could think that. A man could think that too. Right. It depends whether the man is, he says the man is generally more of a bardas. Yeah. Okay. Sometimes he's not also. Right. But he has that innate, he has the ability to tap into that. It would seem more so than the woman, of course, there are exceptions to every rule, and there's gradations of this and levels of being a bardas and being daitan kalos. But Chazal are telling us that there is a metzius like this. There is a certain general situation that oftentimes that's the situation. Oftentimes that's a situation. That's what I would say.
Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate you looking that up, Rabbi.
Okay. Oh yeah, I was just about to say, it's very interesting to me that Rav is the one who's saying this, because if you look at the Gemara in Yevamos, the story of the Gemara in Yevamos is that Rav was the one who had a wife that whenever he would ask her to make a chicken, she would make him something else, and whenever he would ask her to make her beans, she would make rice, and constantly, very, very contrary. And his son Reb Chia, he saw what was going on, and he would relay that his father, when his father said that he wanted rice, he would say that the tati wants beans, and the wife would say, "Oh yeah, he wants beans. I'm going to make him rice." And then like that, Rav got what he wanted. And Rav mentioned to his son, what's going on over here, my son? And he told him, the son told the father what he was doing, and the father says, "No, you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to lie. You can't do that." But I think I'm thinking of somebody else in the next memory. I don't remember who it is right now, but he also had I don't remember who it is right now. Maybe that was Reb Chia. He had a difficult wife, and the Gemara says that in spite of that, whenever he would find in the shuk something that he knew that his wife would like to have, he would buy it. So you see that he knew what his wife liked, which is more than a lot of us know. And not only that, the Gemara mentions that he would wrap it up as a gift and give it to her. And I think the son or one of the Chachamim said, but your wife is so difficult. How could you do that? Like, where do you get the strength to do such a thing? And he says it's enough. It's enough that she raises my children and she saves me from sin. That's enough. So that's the das Torah of Chazal, about how to look at the obligations that a wife owes to a husband. It's enough, those two things. And if she does that, you should give her a present. Good morning, Alan.
Morning.
Okay.
Oh, that's it.
Have a good day,
Oh.
everybody.
11:40. Wow. Okay.
I
We got
gotta
carried
run.
away.
Okay. Bye now.
It was fun.
Yes.
Okay.